A young man's dream. Boys, oh boys, each time I close my tired eyes, my memory starts to roam. I wish that I could hold you, because I'm tired of being alone. Well, now, let's not jump ahead of myself. It all started back about 30 or 40 years ago. Being just a wee lad at the time, however, I still remember the first time my father took me in his big longliner. Now this was not like your average little boat. It was huge. I can remember it just as clearly as if it was yesterday. You see, my dad spent a lifetime fishing the seas. He used to be gone for days, weeks, and sometimes what seemed like months at a time. I always longed for the day in which I could go with him. The stories he would tell. Of the high seas, the weird-looking fish he would catch, the places he would go to drop off their catch. Stories upon stories. I can remember it now. Mom used to say to me, "A fisherman's life is not what you think it is." I never really knew what she meant. I used to think, how could this not be the best thing in the world? Then finally the day came, the day I've been longing for. "Come on, son, you're going with us this time." What? I'm going too? A kid at Christmas time, like walking into a store and the lady telling me to take a handful of candy for free. I was so excited that I just stood there with my mouth open. Then Mom says, "Go on now, go get ready." And that's where it began. My first fishing trip with Dad. We got ready, packed everything we needed, and headed for the boat. There she'd be. The Midnight Rider. What a name! I could picture it now, steaming along in the middle of the night, listening to the waves as she cut through 'em, looking up at a starlit night and watched the reflection of the moon on top of the ocean. With a smell of the salty sea, I couldn't wait. A masterpiece, just gently floating next to the wharf. She'd rise a bit as the ropes would go tight and slowly go back down again. I gazed way up to the top and all the way back down. Anyways, this was it. "Let's go, son," Dad says. "Get aboard." Then off we go. There was only a crew of 3, and counting me would be 4. That was the beginning of what I've always dreamed about. It was just as I expected. The moonlit nights, the sunny days, salty smells of the sea. Now we ran into some strong weather as well. The weather wasn't always that good. Why, I can remember this one time. Wind! We struck the wind hard. We used to get on top of the wave, where you could see for miles, and then start riding the wave back down. And I mean down fast. When you get to the bottom of the wave and look around and see nothing only water, then you know you're in for a ride. She'd ride that wave down so fast. And sometimes she'd list so sharp that the waves would glide about what seemed to be like only a foot or two from the doors and the windows. The thing about going down to the bottom was, you had to go back up. When she'd dig her head into the next wave, I tell you, whatever was next to you, you hung on to it. I can see Dad's face now, like he never had a care in the world, no fear. Just face the next wave, as if to say, "Come on, you son of a gun, don't fail us now." And we'd rise to the top again. Ha. It's funny now when I think back on it all, but it wasn't very funny at the time. But that's what you had to deal with when you were a fisherman. Time went on. I grew into a man. I met and I fell in love and married a beautiful lady with blonde hair that would sparkle in the sun and eyes as blue as the ocean on a bright summer's day. We had a couple of children. 2 boys, actually. Imagine, our own little family. Dad was getting older now, so he wouldn't go out as much as he used to. He'd stay home with Mom a lot more. I took it on myself, had my own crew, and continued on. However, one day it hit me. A feeling like I've never had before. I'll never forget it. As I stepped aboard the boat one day, I looked back. I saw my wife and 2 kids standing there waving goodbye. I never thought much of it at the time, but as time went by, I felt a feeling that was indescribable. I had a family that loved me as much as I loved them. I would begin to start thinking about them all of the time, day and night. I'll always remember this one night as I stood behind the wheel. Boys, oh boys, each time I close my tired eyes, my memory starts to roam. Oh, I wish that I could hold you, because I'm tired of being alone. Now it starts to make sense on what Mom used to be saying to me. How lonely must she have been while Dad was gone all the time? Dad would never show it, but how lonely must he have been away at sea? He had to be. I guess you had to do what you had to do back then. Be strong, keep your head up, and show no signs of fear or loneliness to your children. With children of my own, I then realized that no dad ever wanted his kids to ever know that he was ever worried about anything. What could I do? Should I give it all up? Should I stay on land? Leave behind everything that I have ever known? Well, I guess the answer is pretty clear. As hard as it ever was, I continued doing what I've grown up doing. I've since bought a new boat. My 2 sons fish with me by my side. My mom and dad have long retired and relaxing, and my wife. Well, she's been there with me since day one. She's been with me through the good times and the bad times. She's the woman I loved back then, and I will continue to love till our last days. I realize now that I'm living the life that my parents once lived. The life of a fisherman, a young man's dream. How do you do, my sweetheart of mine? It's been a while now, and I hope you're doing fine. 6 weeks have passed by, and I'll soon be heading home. Oh, I can't wait to hold you, 'cause I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being alone out here so far away from land. We'd fish throughout the hours a day. It's the nights that I can't stand. Each time I close my tired eyes, my memory starts to roam. Oh, I can't wait to hold you. I'm tired of being alone. I see us on the evening as we walk along the sand. How I brightened up your smile when I held on to your hand. There were times we had our ups and downs, but with love we made it through. And the time that you walked down the aisle for me to say I do. I'm tired of being alone out here so far away from land. We'd fish throughout the hours a day. It's the nights that I can't stand. Each time I close my tired eyes, my memory starts to roam. Oh, I wish that I could hold you, 'cause I'm tired of being alone. It's time for me to close my eyes for the end of another day. For tomorrow we'll be heading home back to Conception Bay. This is where, my love, I'll say goodnight to you in my lonely mind, as I wipe away the teardrops Only you could make me find. I'm tired of being alone out here so far away from land. We'd fish throughout the hours a day. It's the nights that I can't stand. Each time I close my tired eyes, my memory starts to roam. Oh, I wish that I could hold you, 'cause I'm tired of being alone. Oh, I wish that I could hold you, 'cause I'm tired of being alone.